At what point in the Black community do our men create real homes? So I'm asking right now, Black men, and I tell my Black men to really step up for Black women and create families. It's really not cool.
A few moments later.
Have you ever dated outside your race?
Yes, that's all I would like to do.
I beg your pardon. Now?
Yes.
I beg your pardon.
And I've always told Black women to be open to dating, even outside of their race. I love Black love, and I would like that. But to see my African-American women sitting around waiting on a Black man as he chooses whoever he wants to choose.
Do you look at that?
I do. I've always dated outside of my race. And I would like for Black women to be open to the people that like them. White men love me. Like, white men love me.
This interview has been making its rounds across the internet. And before I play the rest of the clip, I want to first address the obvious in this video. That is that we have a swirler, a self-professed swirler, who was going out of her way to try to chastise Black men for not being loyal enough to building the Black family. I want you guys to notice how there is generally a huge lack of self-awareness that Black women have when they have these relationship discussions. And I'm not really sure exactly what it is, if it's just decades upon decades upon decades of echo chambers that have been reinforced across mass media, if Black women just are not used to listening to what Black men want or think. But to me, the audacity of a self-proclaimed swirler to try to put on her pro-Black hat and then chastise Black men for not being loyal enough or being committed enough to building a Black family, to me is such a high level of hypocrisy. I don't even know how to really process it. And what's so crazy to me is that this doesn't register as strange or inconsistent with a lot of women, because honestly what a lot of women will say is they have no choice but to divest and swirl because Black men are not showing up in the way that they need to. And that's kind of what she alluded to even in this interview. She talked about how she turned down 3 engagements because they weren't like her granddaddy. And then she also went on to talk about why Black women need to expand their options because they can't wait around for Black men to get it together. So, I mean, it's pretty much just the same talking points that we've heard since day one. And y'all know, I don't have a problem with anybody dating outside of their race, and that's what they want to do. It's no shade. What I don't like is the propaganda, the misinformation, and quite frankly, the lack of accountability that I see being used behind the whole swirler, interracial divesting topic. It oftentimes becomes a reason to blame Black men for all the ways in which they're not showing up. And it is really never about Black women being reflective on the ways in which they are not showing up. And so I just see it being a lot of cap. I see it a lot of, Black men aren't being like white men treat me better, but then these white men never marry these Black women. And it's just the same old talking point. So, but anyways, I just wanted to point that out because I don't think that even Black women, even Black swirlers, pro-Black swirlers recognize the way in which they can be perceived as super hypocritical by the opposite gender. Even if you agree with everything K. Michelle says and is about to say in the clip I'm going to show you, does she really need to be the one saying it? I would argue no, or I would argue that a lot of men are not going to take her seriously when it comes to the importance of building a Black family, because that's never been a standard that she's lived by based upon her own admission. Anyways, let me show y'all the rest of this clip and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Black men are attacking Black women. And it's not they're not creating homes, they're creating babies everywhere. It's not cool. And I'm asking you, other successful Black men, you have to set an example as leads. The cute social media back and forth on black women. Black women are strong. Black women are where you come from, this and that. So there probably isn't any sympathy for you and just life happening because there's so many other things around you going on that are not fair to black women. What is going on with the black family? We are consistently creating the cycle of kids who can't come home and see their daddy there. And they see their mama sad at night. At what point is the successful black man in this world going to step in and really create structure? I see white men doing it every day. My grandfather raised 9 kids on his own because my grandmama died before I could even meet her. What point are our black men going to stop the bullshit, the social media shit and all of that and build black homes? If we don't build black homes, we can't depend on white folk to build black homes. So when you see somebody like your significant other who clearly loves you, and it's all these black women rooting for her, rooting for you. They want you to build a black home. That's their anger. They don't know you. They can't judge you for anything else. They want you being who you are, being attractive, being successful. They want you to take hold and solidify and build a black home. That's not saying you're not taking care of the kids you have, because clearly you are, and you love your kids. Taking care of your kids and building a home is 2 different things. At what point are we gonna stop these back and forths? Oh, this type of woman don't say nothing to me about that. Well, guess what? You're just weak. Like, you want a strong woman around you, and I'm sorry, like, black women have just, that we get copied from hair to body to everything. Black women are the most unloved individuals in America, but the ones who have built.
The most mimicked.
Most mimic. Good or bad mimic, you know? But we looking to you. We looking to you. A successful black man, we are looking to you to change the narrative. And when you don't, it becomes, go on that show and tear his ass up.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so the first narrative that black men are going around creating all these broken homes, I have broken this down at length in multiple videos, how this is really a lie because the majority of black men in America don't even have kids. You're more likely to find black men with no kids, and you're more likely to find black women with 2 or more kids. This is based upon recent information from Black demographics. I broke this down in previous videos. Over 50% of black men in America are currently single and childless, 50% of black men at marrying age. So again, just a lot of these ideas are narratives, but what really it is judging the majority of men for something a small minority is doing. And this has just been, unfortunately, standard operating procedure in Black America. The second point, again, I must reiterate that a person who has explicitly articulated that they do not plan to date or end up in a relationship with black men and that they are exclusively dating outside of their race, such as Cayman, and that they are exclusively dating outside of their race, such as K. Michelle, has really no right to chastise black men into not building a black family when they themselves, based upon their own actions and admission, are not committed to that. Like, you are not the one to hold black men accountable, or put another way, black men are not going to listen to this and really take that seriously if they fully understand the whole context and even understand where she's coming from. So while I don't disagree with the message that it is important to build a strong black family, I disagree with a lot of the misinformation around it and the fact that she is not practicing what she preached. And this is what I am saying. I just wish sometimes Black women were a little bit more self-aware, or just a little more humble and just self-reflective when it comes to these conversations, because we as a collective are not without fault. We have got to stop browbeating and shaming Black men into doing things when there is little to no willingness to acknowledge the ways that we are also screwing up the Black community. Going and sleeping with the small minority of men, creating kids out of wedlock, choosing to have kids before wedlock, not choosing to marry before you carry, sexually experimenting and having all these different sexual partners, and then going on a healing journey when you're mid-30s, and then trying to be celibate at 40, and then trying to refine yourself. Like, Black women are also doing things to screw up the Black family. This is not all on Black men. So it's like, bro, like, there has to be accountability on both sides if there is ever to be any change. Anyways, there's definitely more to this, but that's what I have for now. What do y'all think about this whole situation? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.